numbers, we got two sets of the standard offset and the B offset. So we got the these numbers spawning a little off to the left and upwards, and these numbers kind of, the way they bounce down, it's actually quite handy. And these are in like a triangle sequence. And these numbers, it's just to separate the numbers a bit. You can do a much better job of that actually if you play around with it. There's all kinds of stuff you could be doing. So what I wanted to do was this. It's got this one target, the health. If you see here, target health is the health bar. Panel fade is the one that we're using. Now what I wanted to try and do was add two panels. And I was thinking how to do this. If we move the value bar, so you got one widget, okay, and this is the thing that is called from the display manager. This is the widget is what is actually technically referenced here. This health, I guess health panel fade, is picking up the reference to this widget. Can instantly see the problem. We're going to need like a one empty. Well, we've got to drop down into this. Do I? A widget, the slider. I've got to drop down the slider. It's to do with the way these sliders work. One of the problems when you're doing these, you have two with the value bar. You have one slider. In this case, it's the one on this value bar nested object that I've created here. You've got the slider, that slider. You've also got the slider trail. And you know, just to find them, it's easier if they're on different things. These also reference bar adjust, and this one is referencing bar. So you're referencing bar and bar adjust. Bar's that color thing, and that's the background. So one's like the trailing background, and the other's the front health bar, you know, that slides in and out. Okay. So now we've got that nested. We now have the value bar is nested. You need that. You can do it without actually having a bar adjust, and you can leave without a slider trail. You can have without a slider trail. You do need a slider value, or you're not going to see the value. But now we have two of them. We can. Let's just duplicate it. D. So now we've got value bar 2. So now we've got two value bars. Okay. So now we have a nested value bar. But one widget. Yeah. So we've got no value bars. Because I moved them around, I lost reference to both of them. So now I can add these references to them. Let's just see how that looks. Oh, wow. I should have duplicated the whole thing. Doesn't matter. This is kind of how we create two value bars. Right now, only one is being affected by the numbers. In the previous one we looked at, you've got these pop-up test scripts. It has a target. Okay. The target it's using is this one. that's not the actual problem. It's to do with this pop-up test, these simple kind of pop-up test scripts that I've been using. So what it's doing is getting display bar, value bar equals get display bar. Maybe that should say value bar, but never mind. It says get display bar 0 if it has a target. What we could add is a public int value bar index. Okay, that's going to default to 0, and we use that here. So that's going to default to 0. It will pop up on this pop-up test script as soon as that's compiled. There's a bit of a reload domain. There we go. Yep. So pop-up test value bar index 0. Now this one is value bar index 1. And hopefully what we'll see now is, because these are spawning, this target is going via the display manager to spawn this health bar panel where there are element 0 and element 1 in the value bars. We should now reference, so knowing that when that spawns, this script, one will use certain numbers will affect the first and the other will affect the second. So let's have a look at that working, hopefully. Yep, there we go. That's how you nest value bars on the same widget. Yeah, so I mean, if you could count really quickly, I mean, you should be able to see that there's more blue numbers or green numbers here or red numbers. Then you should, a lot of red numbers, this is the stars on the bottom here, and these are the Roboto numbers on the top. Okay, so that's how you do that. You can nest as many as you want. I mean, you can totally mess around with these. What I might try doing is try duplicating this. I kind of want to get this back to the original. I'll show you some stuff, how we, so right, so this is health bar panel fade 1. One is now dual. So once you get proficient, yeah, it's not that much going on. It's kind of once you learn how it's all fitting together, you can go to display manager. We add one here, we call it health dual. Okay. And we change this prefab to health bar panel fade dual. Yeah, health dual. Now we go to this, and this is where its widget ID is a string referencing that. Display manager string reference health dual take this. When one of these targets on this cube spawns, this target script, it's going to spawn the health dual, the dual bar that we see here. You can see that in action. Whoops. It just means that the I was putting those back so that you can now see if I had the original. Unfortunately, I think it might spawn. I'll change its movement script starting points. Change its starting point because it's probably going to be a cube on top of a cube there. So now you'll see two cubes. They're diverging, and it's to do with these settings on the. Yeah, hold on. Let's really separate them. put this mouse over there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now, yeah, this is just to retrieve the original. This is the single bar. Yeah. And this is the dual number dual bar. It's not linked up though, so I reset something in the middle of that bollock. No, it didn't. There it is. It was just getting a lot of blue numbers. That's all hooked up. Sometimes you do stuff. I forget stuff I do in game mode whilst running. You know, I forget to add it to the actual object in the scene afterwards. What you can do then is you can play around with these. I mean, what these basically are, so this is the second one, they're all the way around. So you got this one, progress bar source image. Let's do some bar like that. That's the bar adjust, so that's the fader behind it. Colour of that, yeah, I change the colours to make it more solid. This might look naff, because I'm just kind of randomly doing this. Progress bar stripes. There's another one, progress bar holes. I think it's the one we got behind it. Just to differentiate it. This is kind of, I think, what's good about it. HUD Manager is so easy. You can change all of these. You got the value bar. There's some stuff like this, like text, show text. You can switch this text off so it won't have the number text on the top bar. So it's got a different trail. Yeah, we could make it solid. Yeah, you could do all kinds of stuff to it, really. The background. Oh, that's the background is progress bar holes still. Make that a progress bar. Because, you know, you can have like mana bar, everything. I mean, we can change the size of this. We can change the whole size of the entire value bar from here. Whoops. It's a negative top and bottom. Make it a bit slimmer. It's not that slim. There's not a lot of space left there. So anyway, you can add, you know, just design whatever you want. So you can have like these. This is a single UI target canvas. That looks a bit weird, doesn't it? I should get them the same length at least, I think, to just look normal. If I put that back, that was minus 12.5. Minus 12.5, but obviously just fiddle around with these. Design it any way you want. And the bar, I'll give it a different colour. I have like a blue. What's this one called? Purple colour. Yeah. It's be a spooky bar, his mana bar, whatever it is. And then one can be his health. And you have it as like one set of numbers is affecting this one. I'm not 100% sure without checking it. I think the stars are the bottom bar. And the top bar is these Roboto numbers. So that's how you would create. I'll leave these in the demo in the file. I'll put these into the new demo scene loaded up for the download. When you download the asset, you'll get this in the demo scene. But this video will give you a few ideas about how you can create that. You can, you know, totally modify it to your own needs. So I hope it helps. You can have more. You can have, I say infinite. It'll probably jam up eventually. I mean, these will. If you have hundreds of these value bars running around on your screen, it does eventually clog things up. I look at scaling and how you can occlude stuff and, you know, leave it out. There are things about that, things that are in range. It will only show things on the screen, but if you have like hundreds of these on the screen, you don't want too many, but you can stack these up 5 or 6 more, you know, 10, 20, if you really wanted to control that via the code, just referencing those display bar indices. Then yeah, sure. I mean, you can add these up and put as many numbers on it as you want, but it gives you a feel for what you can do. I'll add some more soon. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.